Hey y'all, I'm Pop Pop, and welcome to Broken Not Done, the Still Here journey. And I'm hoping you enjoy these videos that I'm sending to you guys because they imparted a little bit of knowledge. This is my walk through depression and mental illness, and I hope it helps somebody everywhere that I can possibly reach out to. So hang in there with me, and thanks for watching my video. Decided to do a little sunrise tour of the beach. Give you that right now. Beyond beautiful. This is just pure peace. Being able to see all this is probably one of the most amazing things you can do in your own life. We're here on the beach. Get that little bit of peace that I need to start the morning, and I'm finding it. It's here. It's all around us. Everywhere you go, you're going to find peace if you're willing to look. When you're in the depths of depression, it's hard to see it. It's hard to find it. It's almost like it's unachievable, like it's not there. I understand that. It's a tough road. It's a tough place to be. It's like nothing makes sense, nothing's going to be right, but there is no positive ending to this terrible feeling of depression and hurt and suffering and anguish. Well, I'm here to tell you there is. And it's not some easy 3-step process. Just do these things, you'll be fine. No, we're not doing that. We're going to do the hard work today. Maybe days, weeks, months, even years. But the one thing I can promise you, and science proves this, it can be fixed. You're fixable. You're going to be fine. You just got to commit to taking those hard steps. Kind of like me committing to come out here at sunrise and do a little photo shoot for my big surprise, which you'll find out about that very soon. It's kind of exciting, actually, as you can tell. But I will say, once you get to that point, once you get over there, it's like a seesaw, and you're standing on one end. That's the depression. There's nothing good, nothing positive, nothing is gonna make things right. It's gonna give you a positive look on life, and then you start doing the hard work, and you work your way up that seesaw towards the center. And then you step over that center, and all of a sudden, things are starting to go right. And the further you step, the more good they go. And all of a sudden, all these amazing things are happening. Sunrises reinvigorate you. Exercising, running, push-ups, whatever it is, starts to feel good. Cold showers start to feel good. Connecting with people and talking to people feels good. You watch a movie, and all of a sudden you start laughing again. This is all the things you have to look forward to, all the positive things. So please, please, please don't give up. Keep going, keep struggling, but don't give up. I've been there. I know you can do it. Science says you can. I say you can. You just got to stick with it. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, good morning, everybody. Today we get to talk about the lovely world of brain chemicals. So everything I'm talking about and I explain is just how I perceive it. I'm not a doctor, psychologist, therapist, I'm none of that. But what I am is somebody that's gone through depression. And I've researched a ton on this stuff. I do know quite a bit about it. And from my own personal experiences, this is what I found. Now, there are tons of brain chemicals, not just the ones we're talking about today. The ones we're talking about today, they're the main ones. They're the ones that can make or break you, that can help you or hurt you. So there are 4, well, maybe 5 or 6 that we're going to talk about in total. The first ones are, you probably heard of serotonin. Everybody's heard of that one. Dopamine, same thing. oxytocin. That's a new one. That's like the love chemical, or a connection chemical, I think is what they call it. Then you have norepinephrine. That's what they call it here in the United States, and in Europe they call it noradrenaline. That is the fight or flight chemical. And what did I say? Serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. Yeah, that's all of them. Then there's one other called melatonin. You probably heard of that one too. That comes out of the pineal gland, which is more towards the back of your brain. But the ones that control your mood are definitely serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. So these chemicals naturally go up and down depending on what mood your body wants to be in or should be in. If you're scared, anxious, sad, happy, all these emotions are all true emotions. I mean, we need a full range of emotions in life in order to live appropriately or live a good life, a well life. So they move about. And the difference between someone with a mental illness and someone that is mentally healthy is that these chemicals haven't gone out of whack. So maybe you don't have enough serotonin, which puts you more in a bad mood, a sad mood. Dopamine goes high or low when it's not supposed to. That could be an addiction. Norepinephrine is too low, so then you're kind of apathetic. If it's too high, then you're too agitated. Again, these are just how I perceive them, how I found them. So life is tough when you have a mental illness, because the chemicals are out of whack and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't think your way out of it. More on that another day. But we have medicines and we have therapies, all sorts of great stuff that we can use to get those chemicals back into a good cyclical nature. The ones we're going to talk about today there's three major groups. There's mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, and antidepressants. There's others too, like anti-exotics and some other stuff, but those are the three main ones that we're going to talk about today. Just briefly, we're focusing on brain chemicals. So the one that seems to be most popular is the SSRI. That's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So what that does, your body naturally makes serotonin. We all know that. And whatever we don't use actually just goes to your gut. That's it. Nothing to it. Well, what the SSRI does is it less goes to your gut, which means more is available in your brain to use, which basically raises the serotonin levels in your brain. So if you're depressed, you're not getting enough serotonin into the brain receptors themselves. So it all goes to your gut. So if you leave a little bit extra available through these SSRIs, then your brain can actually use them. And then you're happy like me. But for people that are depressed, just don't have that available. Just don't process enough of that serotonin in order for it to be used. So they're more depressed. They're sadder. That should be a common sense thing. Then there's SNRIs, which is a selective norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. And all these chemicals relate to each other. So the SNRI, it talks about norepinephrine. Norepinephrine, again, is the fight or flight chemical. But that doesn't make you happy or sad, right? That's true. But if you up the norepinephrine a little bit, the other chemicals kind of follow. So there's more norepinephrine, and there's more dopamine, and there's more serotonin available for your brain to use. So if you take an SSRI or SNRI, it doesn't just specifically target that chemical. It changes all the other chemicals too. So, it's good to have more available. It really can't go wrong until you get what's called serotonin sickness. That's when you just have too much serotonin available. That's when you start seizing up and you start going maybe a little bit psychotic. That's happened. You get nauseous and temperatures it's a bad thing. You don't want to be there. And it really does mess up your brain too, for the short and the long term. So, those chemicals, they're important to have, obviously. And when you are clinically depressed or clinically anxious or anything like that, that's when those chemicals just can't reach that threshold where you can live a life of joy and contentment. They're not looking for happy. Happy was something you should be some of the time. You should be content all or most of the time. And then you should be sad sometimes, that you need a full range of emotions in order to live a mentally healthy life. So sadness does play its part. That's your body saying, hey, something's wrong, something's not right. That's that movie, I can't remember, the Disney Pixar movie, the sadness character in there, and they were like, no, don't be sad. No, you should feel those feelings. I mean, that's part of life. Life is not perfect. It's how you deal with them. It's how it comes out in your emotions and your actions. That's the difference between a mental illness and a daily issue that came up. Should you be sad when your parents die? Absolutely. Should you be happy? No. Okay, that's wrong. Something's wrong there. Should you be sad 90% of the time? No. Life shouldn't be sad 90% of the time. It should be content 90% of the time. And the other 5% are sad and happy. So there's a lot to work on there. There's a lot to think about when it comes to these brain chemicals inside your head. And all they're doing is they're transmitting those emotions to your brain and making your body do the things it needs to do when it comes to emotions. You've probably taken one of those PQH10 tests, and it asks a lot of different questions. One of them is, do you eat too much or too little? Well, if your body is saying, okay, I'm not hungry anymore when you haven't eaten in 2 days, yeah, that's something's going on there. And it's your brain telling your body, no, we don't want to eat, even though you should be wanting to eat. And if that happens over a period of time more often, then yeah, that's bad. Hopelessness and helplessness. This is the key point that I think people miss a lot. I was 9 years old when I had my first suicidal thoughts. That's a long time ago. And at 9 years old, you should not be thinking about suicide. My son did the same thing, scared the bejesus out of me. And that day, I called every counselor in town, about 30 phone calls, but I finally found him one and got him in as soon as possible. But if you even think about suicide for a brief moment, that is exactly against nature. You should never, ever be thinking about suicide. Nature says self-preservation. Your brain is telling you you need to die. That's bad. So even if it's for a moment, you need to dig into this a little bit. You need to get a therapist. You need to talk to somebody. I would even suggest reading my book, which will be out eventually. I thought it was going to be by the end of this year. It may not be. We'll see. Writing books is hard, especially when your vocabulary is kind of lacking like mine. I'm constantly in the thesaurus, like looking up, what's another word for happy? But anyways, so yeah, brain chemicals. They control our emotions, and it's up to us. Let me let you in a little secret. So I did a DNA test. Highly suggest that. It could be useful. It turns out that I have a gene mutation called 1328 or something like that, the MTHFR gene. And that has to deal with L-methylfolate and how I process it. Now, this L-methylfolate is really important because it's basically the conduit for all these brain chemicals to get to one receptor to the other. So if you don't produce enough of it, then you don't have the emotions that you need at the time, which makes a lot of sense in my life. It's not that big a deal. You just have to take more L-methylfolate, which is prescribed. The stuff on the internet's probably junk from what I understand. I haven't really looked into it that close. But that's something I have to talk about with my psychiatrist literally soon, because I just found out about this a few weeks ago. Anyways, yeah, I'm glad y'all joined today. Our next step is going to be a fun one. So come on, join me. Thank you so much for watching my video. I don't always feel strong. Some days I feel like I'm falling apart again. But I keep going, not because I always believe in myself, but because I believe this story matters. And maybe, just maybe, someone else needs to hear it too. I'm broken, not done. Still here, still trying. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Have a wonderful day.